Long ago, in the royal court of a powerful king, there was a minister renowned for his intelligence and wisdom. He was considered a man capable of solving any problem, whether it was a minor issue within the palace or a matter of great importance concerning the kingdom's future. Whenever the king faced a major decision, he would always seek the minister's advice. Because of his extraordinary intellect, the minister soon became the most trusted advisor at the king's side. However, such favor and reliance from the king stirred envy among others in the court. Many officials could not accept that the king valued this minister above everyone else. In their hearts, jealousy and resentment grew stronger day by day, and they constantly looked for opportunities to undermine his reputation and reduce his influence in front of the king. One day, during a casual conversation, the king suddenly brought up the minister's son. While the king praised the minister's sharp mind, he also remarked that the son was nothing like his father. In the king's eyes, the boy was foolish and lacking any sense of wisdom. This statement left the minister puzzled and troubled. After hearing the king call his son foolish, the minister felt both confused and hurt. He could not understand why the king would judge his son that way, so he respectfully asked, "Your Majesty, may I know the reason? On what grounds do you believe my son is foolish?" The king answered firmly, "Every morning when I go to the market to meet the people, I see your son standing there. I always ask him a very simple question. Between gold and silver, which is more valuable? And every single time, he replies that silver is worth more than gold." The moment these words were spoken, the entire court burst into laughter. To them, the boy's answer was undeniable proof of his ignorance. Ministers and courtiers laughed aloud, mocking him, turning his daily response into a running joke that amused everyone in the royal hall. For the minister, who was widely respected as a man of great wisdom and intellect, the situation was deeply embarrassing. How could the son of such a clever man say something so absurd? It pained him to see his child ridiculed in front of the king and the entire court. Without saying anything further, the minister quietly left the palace that day. Yet in his heart, he carried a heavy mix of sadness and curiosity. He was determined to confront his son and understand the reason behind such a puzzling answer. When the minister returned home, he could no longer hide his curiosity and concern. He called his son over and asked in a serious tone, "My son, tell me honestly, do you know that gold is more valuable than silver?" Without the slightest hesitation, the boy replied, "Of course, father. I know that gold is worth far more than silver." The minister was even more astonished by this answer. Frowning, he pressed further, "If you already know the truth, then why, every time the king asks, do you insist on saying that silver is more valuable than gold? Don't you realize that because of this answer, the entire court laughs at you and mocks me as well? Do you not see how embarrassed I feel before everyone?" The boy simply smiled calmly, as though unaffected by the accusations. His peaceful expression only deepened his father's confusion. The minister waited, hoping for an explanation, wondering if there was some hidden reason behind what appeared to be foolish behavior. After a brief silence, the boy spoke softly. "Father, things are not as simple as they seem. I have my own reason for giving that answer. If you wish to understand, let me explain it to you clearly." At that moment, the minister steadied himself, realizing there might be more wisdom in his son's actions than he had imagined. With patience, he leaned closer, ready to listen carefully to the reasoning his son was about to reveal. Hearing his father's question, the boy smiled and began to explain. "Father, every morning when the king goes to the market, he calls me over and places 2 coins in front of me, 1 gold and 1 silver. Then he asks, which one is more valuable? I know very well that gold is worth more than silver, but I still choose the silver coin." The minister frowned, not yet understanding, but the boy continued, "If one day I were to pick the gold coin, the king would realize that I know the true answer. The little game would end right there, and I would be left with only that single gold coin. But if I continue choosing silver, the king finds it amusing. He thinks I am foolish, and because of that, he repeats the question every day. Each morning, I walk away with a silver coin. A single silver coin may not seem like much, but when collected day after day, month after month, it grows into a full box of silver, just like the one you saw in my room." The minister was utterly astonished. He had never imagined that behind what seemed to be a foolish choice lay such clever reasoning. His son not only understood the true value of gold, but also knew how to think long-term, sacrificing a single gain for a steady and lasting benefit. What others mocked as stupidity was, in truth, a quiet form of wisdom. When the minister listened to his son's explanation, he was struck with astonishment. In that moment, he no longer saw a foolish child, as others had labeled him, but a boy who could think deeply, who understood the value of patience and the wisdom of long-term gain. As he looked at the box filled with silver coins that his son had carefully collected day by day, he realized that what many dismissed as foolishness was, in truth, a rare kind of intelligence, one that not everyone was wise enough to recognize. From that day on, a new sense of pride grew in the minister's heart. He no longer felt ashamed when others mocked his son. Instead of becoming angry or defensive, he simply smiled whenever someone called his child foolish. Deep down, he knew that behind the seemingly simple choices lay a unique brilliance, one that could only be understood by those who looked beyond appearances. The minister also came to understand an important truth about life. Wisdom does not always need to be displayed openly for others to admire. Sometimes true strength lies in silence, in patience, and in the ability to see further than the crowd. What others laugh at may actually be a hidden form of success. From then on, instead of embarrassment, the minister felt immense pride for the very son who had once been ridiculed by the entire royal court. The story of the minister's son leaves us with a powerful lesson. In life, there are people who do very little yet make a great show of it, craving attention and recognition from others. They value applause and praise more than the true worth of their actions. On the other hand, there are those who quietly achieve remarkable things without ever boasting or seeking validation. The truth is, if you are confident in what you are doing and believe your choices are right, then the ridicule or criticism of others should not matter. The world often labels what it cannot understand as foolish or crazy. Yet at times, it is precisely these unusual and misunderstood actions that reveal true wisdom and open the path to success. Therefore, do not be disheartened if people fail to understand you or even mock you. What matters most is not how others see you, but how faithfully you walk your own path. Be patient, remain grateful for what you already have, and keep moving forward step by step. Success does not always shine under the spotlight. It often grows quietly, nurtured by persistence, silent effort, and an unwavering belief in yourself. In the end, greatness lies not in showing off, but in staying true to your values, trusting your vision, and having the courage to continue, even when the world calls you foolish.